is a flame of fire. On his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Him accompanied by Brother Josh Sticks on acoustic guitar. So welcome to you as well.
Tonight, we're going to perform a song entitled "Egypt Was a Black Land," the song, and the title basically explains itself, as does the lyrical body of the work itself. Those of us who know the truth about ancient Kemet, the black truth about ancient Kemet, ancient Tamari, ancient Egypt, many of us do not have the resources that the popular media has, such as the History Channel, Zahi Hawass, and people of that nature who spread false information about the ancient black past of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, ancient Tamari. You know, you can play it for your children, you can play it for your teachers, you can play it, but eventually people will get the message.
It's going to reverberate through our community.
Definitely.
And speak to those that need to hear this important message.
Especially the youth. They
That's
really
right.
need to hear this type of message.
That's right. That's right.
Because
especially the youth. They
That's
really
right.
need to hear this type of message.
That's right. That's right.
Because we're losing them fast every day in numbers that most people don't want to talk about.
Right.
And I even like the name Ma'at Hotep Records. I mean, it says it all in itself. We're trying to maintain Ma'at and keep
all the lies you've been told, baby, let me set you straight. What we did back then was great, you just don't know. Let me show you the past so your future can look bright. Help you walk into the light, help you see yourself. I've heard them say,
I think you invented notes never ever before heard in music on that audition.
I've heard them say that we wasn't even there. Baby, let me make it clear, we were the ones.
Horrific.
There's no doubt that you will know we were the ones, and I'ma show you who Nefertari was. Said she was black because that's the way that I had made her, and show you who Nefertari was.
No one would pay to see you perform.
Who Nefertari was, said she was black because that's the way that I had made her, and show you.
Horrific.
Ever wondered why thousands of ancient Egyptian men masturbated in the River Nile? Do you know how the entire civilization was dependent on this bazaar? This wasn't just tradition, it was a deeply rooted religious practice. During the Min festival, the pharaoh led this sacred ritual. It was a hot summer day, and the banks of the Nile were teeming with thousands of men, all waiting for the pharaoh's signal. The pharaoh, standing at the river's edge, would initiate the ritual, his actions reflecting the divine act of creation as told in their mythology. The men would then follow suit, their communal act serving as a symbolic offering to the gods, hoping to ensure the river's fertility for the coming year. Understanding them within their historical context is essential. It's easy, from a modern standpoint, to view ancient rituals as bizarre or even barbaric. Yet it's crucial to remember that these practices were woven into the fabric of ancient societies.
There's no doubt that you will know we were the ones, and I'ma show you.
Honestly, horrific.
She was black because that's the way that I had made her, and show you.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors and salute to all you fellow brethren, fellow supporters of this truth. Even you few sisters, shalom to you as well. Shalom to the elect. So anyway, first, I got this video, the idea from the video, this brother GMS Yahweh Shai's Prophecies. It's GMS Yahweh Shai's Prophecies. You see it, you can subscribe. It finds a lot of these wild articles. It's called Egyptologists Won't Follow This, Will They? And we've been saying that for years, but I wanted to touch on that because it seemed Shaka Amos and Brother Polite and the Kemites and the Sanettas and the Brother Reggies and I don't know, I can't remember, Jabarus and all those guys. It seems like they need to erect their ancient roots. Well, I'm not telling them to do that, but they need to consider what their ancient roots are and what it is they're actually following. But the Lord got them doing that, so we're not at this point trying to wake them up. But I've seen a lot of Egyptologists, they come to our page and they may say things, so hopefully this will edify and teach them to stay away from the Egyptology crap. Because after all, the elitists that brought us here, or at least had it set up to bring us here, they want to push that Egyptology, black, African, Canaan, that movement on us. They don't want you to believe that you are the true biblical Israelites. When you look at the land, it's right there anyway. It's not the land, but it's right there, far as Africa, but it's right in that region. So that should tell you something right there. It doesn't have anything to do with you strictly on being so-called black complected. As you can see in these pictures, there's differences between us. Let's go to Exodus 11. This is a scripture we used to pull out back in the day. Milk is still meat to some. Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall a dog not move his tongue. Let me get another translation. The NASB, SB, New American Standard Bible. But not even a dog will threaten any of the sons of Israel, nor anything from a person to animal, meaning the Lord got the children of Israel's back, so that you may learn how the Lord distinguishes between the Egyptians and Israel. In the original translation, said the Lord put a difference. See, and when we went into captivity under the Egyptians, we start fearing their gods. We start fearing their practices and their beliefs. We live comfortably, and we start adopting what they were into, until the awakening came and we started waking up. And the Lord had told us, "I am the Lord." When He took us out of Egypt, Exodus 20, He said, "I'm the Lord your power, and have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Thou shalt have no other gods beside me." Because when we still woke up, we still had fetishes with the Egyptian gods and other gods. So that's why He said, "Have no other God beside me," because they was putting other gods with the Lord. So what would happen is the heathens, what they would do is trick Jake and allow Jake to follow their gods, but then they would introduce him to other gods. And then Jake would feel like it's more powerful the more gods that he worshiped. And this is why this guy, Shaka Amos, and you look at his face, you clearly see this guy must be on the other side of the fence. This is why they're into multiple gods. This is why they're into that. Now, the way they embalm and the way they do things, with taking the brain out and all that stuff, they do the same thing in Egypt here. This is why this is called Sodom of Egypt. So it's a lot of practices of Egypt that they do now. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those rituals required you to stand beside a river and do that same thing, according to fame. Anyway, so let's go to Leviticus 20 and 26. It says, "And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine." So you got to know that if we adopted the Egyptian customs, then we would stand right there with the Egyptian men doing the same damn thing. The Lord made them that way. They are supposed to eat the heathenistic foods and customs. Just like the Moabites, the Ammonites, Moabites, they were meant to eat octopuses with one eyes. And technically that's not in the law in general, under the hands of the children of Israel. In fact, you know what? Let me get a quick scripture on that real quick to show you the difference. Let's go to, let me see, Deuteronomy 14, I believe it's 20 or 21. Deuteronomy 14 and 21. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt not give it, thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates, that he may eat it. Okay? So this is clearly not an Israelite. This wouldn't be the Lord telling the Israelites to give another Israelite's junk. Or thou mayest sell it unto an alien, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. Thou shalt not seeth his kid in the mother's milk, which I did a video on that. What they, the things that they were doing at these Egyptian customs and these other animalistic customs, the way they sacrifice was different according to the way we did things. Now, again, the question is, if you are the Egyptology, why are they discriminating on their own? Why won't they go get a lip plate, right? Why I never understood why Brother Polite didn't get wives and stick some plates and rings in their ears, them big rings and them big lip plates. Why won't they go and do that? Why won't they seek out, erect their heritage and their customs? I don't know. Seems like a pretty bit phony to me. Shaka Moses went on to get the strings, the eyeliner, the eyelash. Then he says the youth need to hear it. And then what are they going to hear? What is the total outcome of everything when it comes to the youth hearing that they're an Egyptian? I went back and forth with a guy some years ago, and he's like, yeah, we're Egyptians, and we're this, and we're that, and we come from the motherland, and I'm saying, nah, man, we Hebrew Israelites. This is years back. And then what did we get out of the conversation? So I asked him, well, at the end of it, now what do we have to look forward to now that we're Egyptians? Now what do we do? Because if we were so powerful and great, then we would still be thriving with all those gods that we had, right? But of course, they can't answer questions like that. Let's go to Exodus 2. I was going to get another in Genesis. Because, even in Genesis, it was saying it was an abomination to even eat, for the Egyptians to eat with the Hebrews, right? Because the Lord separated us. This is Exodus 1, right? Now there arose a new king over Egypt. I believe that was King Ramses II, Pharaoh. And they knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more than mighty than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when they fall out any war, they join also unto the enemies and fight against us. So this is the main reason of the breaking up the home, breaking up the family. They realize we're going to put hell on them, tax them. That still never stopped it. Well, let's keep reading. It says, come let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass, when they fall out of any war, they join into our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses, right? But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Because at once upon a time, that's all you had. You had your woman, okay? And if you're in hell, you try to seek pleasure, right? Now, the Egyptians, they had some other kind of pleasures going on. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their services where they made to serve was with vigor. So then he goes on to the Pharaoh orders to kill every male Hebrew child, So now you have the parent planhoods. I don't understand that, because if you planning to be a parent, how do something like that initiates the situation. I don't know. So we can see the same thing happening now. They realize to separate the home, fund the woman, make her rise up and put the man down, press him. Now, it sounds like conspiracy, when you hear these things, but when you really look at the numbers, you look at statistics, you will see just even what I went through and other men went through in domestic situations. Anything that deals with us and uplifting of us as men, they put it on women and say to uplift the woman. Well, the only way you uplift a nation is the man first and then the woman. So what is this uplifting a woman about? But that's another video. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. The Lord made a difference, as Leviticus 20:26 says. He has severed us from other people. So you guys that you want to be Egyptology, these are the things that you have to accept. Now, if you got to go back to the root of being the Egyptology, then you got to line up at the Nile River, or you got to rehearse the unrighteous act in your backyard or wherever else. I'm not telling you to do that. All I'm saying is, if that was the heritage of an Egyptian, then you would remember your heritage. Now, the Hebrew Israelite, that was never our heritage, to stand by a river and do those type of heinous, abominable acts, to harm nature. Okay? I mean, I don't know if they took swims in there, who knows? But I tell you, there was a whole lot of flim-flams. What you see happening now in Babylon, America, Sodom of Egypt, it's the same thing. They were doing the same thing back then. This is why it's such an attack on a man getting the younger women, right? But vice versa, it's not an attack. It's not even an attack when it comes to the same, origin, so to speak. It's not an attack on that if an older man get a younger man or younger boy. We don't see no attack on that either. Anyway, that's all I have on that. If you want to be an Egyptian, have at it. But that's not of the Lord. You Israelites need to wake up. Shalom.